Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. John myself, Oxford, on the show tonight. It's my mucker Bridgeman and the one and only JFK. Evening, gents.
Good evening, Oxford. Good evening, Bridgeman.
Well, can I say a huge good evening to you guys? Massive good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Happy, happy days. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
All right. How are you, JFK? All right, mate?
I'm fine, pal. Hope you're okay. I'm just at the end of this blooming cold. I think everybody's getting a taste of it. Sore throat, sneezing, that. But I done a bit of gargling with a mixture of cider, paracetamol and vodka. It didn't work, but by God, man, I was steaming.
That was a strange day today. The door went this morning about 8:45. The door went. Big Stevie and his tribe. Oh, I was delighted to see him. He says, "You put me up for 3 weeks." 45 minutes later, Bridgeman, door goes again. South side in the family. Any chance you could put me up for 3 weeks? I'm like, well, it's something. You know what I mean?
Shockers, isn't they? They're just
something's
shockers.
going on. I don't know. So the house is mobbed. Right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do is, JFK, if it's all right with you, mate, we'll have the view for the bridge.
Oh, definitely.
Quite quickly, we'll hear from Stevie G, and then we'll get the phone lines open. Sound like a plan?
Oh, great plan, mate. Good plan.
Let's hear the view from the bridge.
View from the bridge. Can't take anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take anymore.
Oh, good evening and welcome. Everybody welcome to a View from the Bridge from the Rangers versus St Mirren versus Rangers game, should I say, 24th October 2021, SPFL Premier game. The game. We started the game very, very slowly, which everybody that saw it could tell that early on. No tempo at all, and St Mirren took full advantage of our poor start. They pressed us high and strong. Hardly time to think, never mind do something positive with the ball. Also, St Mirren were playing with a strong wind behind them. On 3 minutes, Goldson hits a long clearance way upfield and through to their keeper, who just hoofs the ball a mile in the air. Davis runs to gather the ball, but the wind caught the ball by the look of it and forced him to miss his header. To pull it down with his foot. And the ball bounces and he manages to get his head to it and tries to find Tav, who sclaffs the ball towards Lundstrom, but he can't gather the ball either. And it's a very poor pass at the end up, and young Ronan picks the ball up and leaves Lundstrom for dead, heads towards our goal. By the way, no Rangers defender or midfielder tried to tackle him or defend our goal. Ronan then has a fantastic shot from about 25 yards out into the postage stamp. Keeper no chance. 1-0 to St Mirren. Unbelievable stuff. What a terrible start, which a few people did predict. If we don't get our bum into gear, that could happen to us. Anyway, I thought to myself, well, here we go again. Pedestrian start, lose a goal, and can't get hold of the ball to do anything constructive. On 18 minutes, Tavernier shown a yellow card for taking a St Mirren player right out of the game. Well done to Tav, seriously. This poor performance went on for roughly about 20 to 25 minutes, but then we started to calm the game down, and a little bit of passing started to appear with the ball, got the ball to each other, and made some good inroads into the game. So for about the first 30 minutes, we didn't really cover ourselves in glory. After 25 minutes, we started to make inroads into the half, into the St Mirren half, and closer to their box. In 24 minutes, Rangers won a corner on the right, taken by Tab, met by Golson, who brings a good save from their keeper. 26 minutes are very similar, another corner on the right, taken by Tab, and Golson heads the ball and brings another good save from their keeper. There were a number of chances for Rangers, which are too numerous to say, and we were pressing hard and doing well at last. On 40 minutes, Rangers win a penalty when Hadji's brought down on the edge of the box by Power. Definite penalty. On 42 minutes, Kemar Roof converts the penalty brilliantly with a right-footed shot into the bottom right corner. Keeper well beaten. 1-1 for the famous and St Mirren. Well done. This is more like it for Rangers. It was all Rangers now. The play was starting to really come for us, and we put on good pressure. On 43 minutes, Roof picks up the ball inside our half, strides into the opposition half, finds Aribo, holds the ball, and waits for Tav. Tav picks the ball up, gathers it in, and puts in another Tav special of a cross right across the face of the goal. And there was Alfie to head the ball down and into the net. A very difficult header, may I say. Well done to Alfie. I thought that was a really good goal. So that was 2-1 to us, and I couldn't believe my luck. I really couldn't. Brilliant goal from our half into the net. Alfie celebrated wildly as it was his 100th goal for the club. And he just jumped into the crowd who loved it. Marvellous celebration all around for Rangers. And of course, unfortunately, Alfie picked up a yellow card. Probably deserved, but he picked it up anyway. Second half, we were aware of it. We were aware of any changes the opposition made, and we stayed in good control. We had a few more chances and attempts, and with luck, we could have been more goals ahead. McGrath went off injured after he just fell to the ground and had to be carried off injured. St Mirren had used all their subs, so the last few minutes we were playing against 10 men. In the last few minutes, they tried to attack in the hope that a mistake would be made and they could get a wee chance to score. Never happened, and Rangers went on to win the game 2-1. Well done to the famous. Final score 2-1 Rangers. Well done to the famous. We march on, and the fans with us. In my opinion, but no bother with my opinion at the moment. It's too much. Player by player, I'm only counting this basically been a half hour on because we were just rubbish before it. So McLaughlin 6, Tavernier 7, Goldson 8, Balogun 8, Barisic 6, Lundstrom 7, Davis 7, Aribo 7, Hadji 7, Morelos 7, and Roof 7. Man of the match, I gave to Balogun because I thought he just shaded it past Goldson. The two of them, I thought it was a really good game yesterday after all the problems that we've had. The two of them played well. But Balogun wins it. Possession 46 for the Saints, 54 for Rangers. Total shots 4 for the Saints, 19 for Rangers. Shots on target 2 for the Saints, 7 for Rangers. Corners 4 for Saints, 7 for Rangers. Fouls 11 each. That is the end of A View from the Bridge.
View from the bridge. Can't take anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take anymore.
Well, thanks for that, Bridge. I'll let GFK come in and then we'll hear from your gaffer. Any thoughts on that, GFK, before we hear from the gaffer?
I think Bridgeman summed up beautifully there. Only for me, my man of the match is between Aribo and Hadji, and I slightly gave it to Hadji. I thought he had a decent game, but overall it was a good coverage he made there. The man himself, the Bridgeman, Brew from a Bridge, was spot on.
Yeah,
what a good point.
Don't tell me, I'll be looking for more money. You know what I mean? Right, get yourself a mute and we'll hear for our gaffer, Stephen George Gerrard, MPE.
The team have found a way to win. You must be delighted with that this afternoon.
Yeah, listen, I think over the course of a campaign, it's not always going to be pretty. You know, you're not always going to be able to find your top style and your passing rhythm. I think if you weren't in the stadium today, you probably didn't realise the pitch was a little bit loose underfoot. It was drying out, it was windy. The conditions weren't really for us today, but what we did is we found a way to win. I thought we got better after the first 20-25 minutes because we got off to a really slow start and conceded a fantastic goal. I thought that kid was really good rolling throughout the game, to be fair to him. But from 25 minutes we started controlling the game in a different way. It was a game today where you find space and ask questions of their back three. And me two goal scorers by
Yanis Hadji, maybe one of your more technical players, but one that's always willing to put that other shift in too.
Yeah, listen, Yanis joined us very young. He's still very young, but it was really important that we changed the way he looked from a profile point of view. He understood what type of league he was coming into, that he would have to stand up, be counted and be brave and become a man. And without a doubt, no matter how long he stays for, he'll definitely leave a man. He's battling for us, he's doing the ugly side of the game, and we know his quality. I thought he was outstanding for the majority of the game today.
Alfredo, 100 Rangers goals, and that a fantastic moment for him today.
Yeah, it was, and that's what we want our number 9 to do, run through the goal. We know we've got the service from the side. It was a fantastic cross from James, but 100 goals at any level for any club is a magnificent achievement, and I said it last week, he'll smash 100 and hopefully go on to get many more for Rangers. Kemar Roof, 50th appearance, 26 goals. We've got 2 poachers, stroke goal scorers in our armoury now, which is fantastic for me.
The second half, well, I guess you would have liked to add some more very comfortable. John was never under really any pressure.
Yeah, listen, I thought John was magnificent. What he had to do, he done extremely well. There's no blame attached to him for the goal. It was an absolute top finish, to be fair. So he done his job, and obviously making that decision certainly worked. We were a bit worried about Buff on the yellow card, and we wanted to do the right thing for the team. To be fair to him, he played with discipline, but we wanted to bring Fashion on, thinking they're going to gamble and jump a little bit. There might be a bit more space to put a bit of pace on the pitch. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for Fashion, but there was one really interesting moment where John Lundstrom could have put him in. So all in all, a lot of positives, but they all came after the first 20-25 minutes because St Mirren were better in the opening period.
And just lastly, late on, seeing Nathan playing in a wider area in a more advanced area, quite an interesting position for him, and did very well there.
Yeah, interesting. We changed our shape a bit. We went to a bit like a 4-4-2, and you felt like the third goal weren't going to come. So it was about just maybe managing the game and seeing the game out. And Nathan come on, he was aggressive, he was on the front foot, he regained a few really good bits of possession for us, and maybe from time to time we will use that situation.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, man. Thanks for that, Fox.
Yep.
I think the gaffer's happy with the victory. He said it was difficult conditions, GFK. I don't know if you picked up the wind and the heavy rain it fell, yeah?
Aye, it was. You could see that. There was a few times most of the players were slipping. You could see he was pleased. I mean, a lot of people had written us off for they were going to get a result at St Mirren. We hadn't lost in 6, and they were doing well, but I was expecting them just to roller coaster it, but didn't happen. But I'll be happy with the 2-1 all day. I thought we played well. The first 20 minutes, I thought we were very, very poor, very lethargic. I thought Thursday night's exertions had maybe got on top of them a wee bit, but no, they weathered the storm. The boys scored a worldly goal, wasn't it? It was a fantastic goal. And there's no keeper in the world would have saved that right in the corner, right in the postage stamp. So, going to be pleased, and I think that showed in the gaffer's interview, Oxshire. Very pleased indeed.
I think the manager appreciates you can't win 4 and 5 every week, and we know we've been at top form, Bridgeman. You go one behind, you're against the wind. The park, you're getting used to the park. You've had a hard game on Thursday. They've had a break. They get their tails up with getting the goal. We did show character just to grind our way slowly back into the game, mate.
Oh yes. It took that wee while, and just as Jimmy said, first 20 minutes we weren't even in the game at all, and not at all, and really they managed to get their tails up, got on the front foot, wind at their backs, and they came at us. That's exactly what happened, and we didn't know what to do because we're still trying to find our way forward. But eventually we did. I don't know whether it was a combination of them running out of a wee bit of steam, or indeed the wind might have dropped, so it wasn't quite in their favour. But it looked like Rangers started to play a wee bit of football, and gain a wee bit of confidence with the ball at their feet, and started to find their players. And from then on, to me, it just looked as if it was going to be one way, and we pressed and we pressed and pressed. And we huffed and puffed, didn't we? Chance after chance, good headers from Goldson, good shots for Morelos and others. You just thought to yourself, these guys need to score. And there you go. Got a penalty, and there was no doubt about the penalty. Also. There was no doubt about that.
Penalty would be long.
Yeah.
I still like penalty gear away, if I'm honest, GFK.
I mean, Hadji's going to go down at least a wee touch, It was a stone waller. Can I just say something about the I mean, it's just been niggling at me about the commentary for the goal. I mean, the Andy Walker one said that the ball hit off Alfredo's head. Couldn't believe it. I kept rewinding it to see if I'd heard it right, but that's what he said. I mean, it was a fantastic goal. A reflex goal, good striker's goal, but you're not going to get any credit for these type of people, you know what I mean?
Oh, my initial thought was when I first seen it, but the angle wasn't perfect. And I just slightly glanced away for a second, and I thought the defender had put it in. My first reaction, then I seen obviously Buff coming in. All goals are good goal when you're a striker.
course it is.
You know, you get in there and it comes off your shoulder, goes in the goal. Doesn't matter, it's a goal. You know, good goal, 100 goals for Morelos, 100 goals. We'll turn to Alfredo Morelos. We'll keep talking about it again, but we'll turn to him. 100 goals. It's not a bad feat. GFK.
Well, it could have been more if he'd have managed to stay in the park through a lot. It wasn't his own fault, but it's a great feat. 100 goals in 199 games, mate, is absolutely fantastic. So long may that continue. That's what we want him to do again, is keep scoring and shows the player he was 2 seasons ago when he was banging them in for everywhere. So let's hope that's him back up and running again and going on to play the Sheep on Wednesday night, and let's see him bang a couple in and give his pal a wee pat in the head and that again. You know, we'll be pleased he's meeting him on Wednesday.
I'm sure one of them will be pleased.
Aye.
What's your thoughts on Morelos, Bridgeman?
Look, I love the guy. I think he's fantastic. I thought that goal he scored yesterday was a really difficult goal. He met that ball really well and headed the ball down as well. And if it had been any real mistake, that ball could have bounced over the bar, if you know what I mean, you know. But he managed to see it late, and I thought he played a lovely header into the net. Marvellous for me. I'm very happy. And if Andy Walker doesn't ever report on Rangers again, I'll be even happier. I'll be one of the happiest men in the whole world, because that man is nothing but a pain to Rangers fans. Just poor. Can't see anything positive about Rangers, and it's always negative. Always. No matter what happens, particularly against that boy.
Don't turn the sound off. Don't worry, people. I mean, I know they're annoying, you know, but
I don't understand why we can't get
Alfredo Morelos, 100 goals. How did you get from Alfredo Morelos to Andy Walker?
No, because he was commenting, Jimmy.
Right, just part Andy Walker, stick to the subject.
Morelos, fantastic.
You'll be getting your second yellow card, your third yellow card, and you're off.
100 goals for Rangers is as good as we can get for him, given the way he's played and, shall we say, the way he's been treated in Scotland. Red card and so on.
Some negative, how to put this, I'm picking my words wisely here. GFK, sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes it's been bordering on racism, the abuse that Alfredo's taken.
100%.
Well, I mean, we could talk all night about what's happened to Alfredo. Of course it borders on racism, you know, and it's absolutely disgusting, and these people have been getting away with it. Mm-hmm. And people in supposedly places of power on TV that everybody's word means something, and when these people say it, then it means nothing. When they're chastised about it, no, for me, we don't want to even give them any breathing space, mate, because they're not even worth talking about. We know who they are out there. The Andy Walker comment just did annoy me, in the fact is that he said it half his head, but some of the other comments for the unmentionable people about Alfredo here the last couple of years has been absolutely disgusting. And they deserve all the unlucky stuff that happens to them in the future, because, dirty racists, mate.
Right, Alfredo Morelos. 199 games, 29 as substitute, 170 starts, 100 goals, only one penalty, 54 red cards, 7 yellows. Sorry, 54 yellows, 7 reds.
I'd have believed you for the first one.
I think he's calmed right down, really, hasn't he? It's but it's hard to believe. It's nearly 2 years since he was red carded. But
aye.
So he got them all in quite quickly. This is his 5th season with us, and he's been consistent. 18 goals his first season. Then obviously the gaffer comes in. 45 games, 3 sub 30 goals. That's his best season so far. But you could argue his next season, 2019-20, where he scored 29 goals in 37 starts, 10 as substitutes.
Aye.
So pretty similar positions in. And then last season, in total 38 games started, 6 as sub, only 17 goals. So the goals, but it wasn't that prolific last season. But I think we all recognised he was still playing well for his Bridge.
Yeah, I think he's the way he changes, or the way he has changed from out-and-out striker to fetch and carry sometimes, you know, come and get the ball and bring people into the game, force the ball out wide. These kind of, he makes his choices who he wants to give the ball to, and that proves to me that when I watch it and I see him playing it. Sometimes it doesn't come off, but most of the times he finds his man, which is just brilliant, because it's really good to see somebody coming out, pick the ball up, change the direction, and while they're changing direction, the ball goes over it, he runs into the box and takes up far post position, which is what you're looking for if you're getting forced out. And it's just, I think he's a fantastic player for us. And I just hope the form starts to change for him and he gets in there and he starts scoring some more goals. It'll not be an avalanche of goals, I don't think, but at least he'll be there. And they had 4 men on him at times yesterday. Just when he got in the box, he had 4 men on him at times, you know. Oh, I think he's brilliant. And when he jumped into that crowd, the whole place erupted. This house here was going mental. I was jumping up and down. Fantastic. Just loved it.
I think it was a bit unfair, the booking of it. I think he was just wanting to shake one person's hand for every goal he scored.
Aye. It's the most silliest type of booking in football. You know, for to go and celebrate with your own fans. It's absolutely crazy. But that's what they do. You know, what's pleasing about Alfredo, he's taken a few bangs in the last few games and he's got up and he's got on with it. And that's what you want to see him do. We've said this here for the last couple of seasons, Oxshire. Be as clever as the other player. You know what I mean? He's out to get you sent off, so you be as clever as him. You know what I mean? Don't react. And I think he's did that. And there's been some games that he's no scored at all, and he's been absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, we'd love to see him go back to scoring 29 goals, but if he performs well and the others are scoring round about him and the end of the season we're champions again, that's all that really matters, mate.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to give you my positives and negatives and get your thoughts on it, Bridgeman. I know you've commented at length. My positive for the game and Sunday was the way we reacted and slowly got myself into the game, if that makes sense. And my negative was, in some respects, I was disappointed we never scored a third goal and finished the game after the second half. JFK.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. I'm just thinking that there's times there when we've got a chance to finish teams and we don't seem to do it, you know. And it gets your heart racing, you know, we're 2-1 and it's happened to us with Motherwell at Ibrox, you know, we're 1-0 up and lo and behold what happens. It happened to us with Hearts, I know, didn't it? So, look, as what it is, I mean, 1-2-1 every week would be good because it means we're champions, but aye. My negative for the game, if I can say it, is that I still don't think that Stephen Davis and John Lundstrom are good together. I think the game becomes too slow in the midfield. I don't know if you agree with that, but that's my negative for the game, mate.
Would you argue with that in yesterday's performance?
Aye.
Bridgeman.
Obviously, my negative is going to be the first 20 minutes, to be honest. We just didn't really know what to do from goalkeeper all the way out to the attackers. We didn't know what to do when we got the ball. When we were lucky enough to get the ball, we didn't know what to do with it. Or it wasn't sticking. Or we had a slidey out of the pitch and we fell over. Oh, that's nonsense, you know. But it took us a good 20 minutes just to get our feet on the pitch, to be honest. So that was my negative. I think the positive was I thought Ruth really good getting the penalty. Sorry, Hadji getting that penalty. That was a really good bit of football for him. Beat that boy outside in and he pulled him down. And I really loved the way Ruth took that penalty. It was just lovely to see. And he didn't batter it. He just placed it right in the corner with a bit of weight behind it. Just brilliant. And I'm really happy. I'm positive. The last one, I just said it a couple of minutes ago, was Morelos' goal. Great goal. From inside their own half, all the way down to the right wing. And Tav put in an absolute fabulous cross.
Tav claiming an assist for that, JFK?
Sorry, mate?
Is Tav claiming an assist?
I would probably think you would, mate. Aye, I would say so. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'll touch on your point you raised there, Lundstrom and Davis.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I didn't think any of the two of them were particularly great yesterday.
No.
Yeah, guys that have set very high standards for themselves. I thought, if I'm being honest, mate, I think the two of them are playing too deep. The two of them spent too much time right behind the centre half, right behind them. Yeah.
I just felt that the two of them on the park at the same time didn't give anything at all in midfield. I thought going forward, as you say, they were playing far too deep, and It's either one or t'other for me. And I know Lundstrom's had the jersey and that, and he's been playing well. But for me, Sir Stevens, no, he's a world-class player, and I want to see him play every week. But if the two of them can't complement each other, then what we supposed to do? If I had to pick any of the two, I'd rather Sir Stephen was playing every week. But as the gaffer's obviously got other ideas, he thought the two of them could complement each other. But they certainly don't, mate. They certainly don't.
No, the tactics that we played on Sunday, I get exactly where you're coming from. Playing so deep, and then when one of them look up, there's no forward pass on.
No.
Yeah, I understand. I've done that. Any thoughts, Bridgeman?
Well, what can I say? When we speak about those two central midfielders, I think that both of them played very well yesterday. And when you say that they were ended up playing close to the centre halves, I think the main reason for that was there wasn't an out ball. There was no out ball. All we were getting to do was push the ball right over the top of our forwards, and then their goalkeeper was actually getting to pick the ball up. And that happened a number of times, a great number of times. And I think that forced both Davis and Lundstrom to come back and give the helping hand and let the defence play the ball out. And once they started to play the ball out through Davis and Lundstrom, you started to see us pick the ball up in the midfield and move forward. As we move forward, bring the attackers. And that's what I saw yesterday. And I thought they played quite well. I do like the two of them playing together. It might be a slightly different opinion to Jimmy, but I quite like the both of them. And I don't doubt for a second what Jimmy says. So Stephen Davis, world-class player. For me,
did you think the two of them played well yesterday?
I think well, not the whole game, but I think that was the conditions that was doing that. The ball was always obviously missing each other. The ball was going over their heads from their goalkeeper, and it was hitting the ball 70 yards in the air. You know, these big, long, high balls are in the air for minutes. And sometimes Goldson and Balogun were struggling to even see the ball in the air, to be honest. But once we started to get it calmed down, which is where Davis and Lundstrom came in, they managed to pick the ball up and get once they were close.
Right, okay, come on, you calm down. The view for the bridge is finished.
I'm sorry, pal. That's the way I saw it anyway.
Right.
I don't have any problem with Jimmy says.
You'll not get paid twice, Bridge, for two views. You know what Fox is like. You know how tight he is, JFK.
Oh, I know. Do you think the John McLaughlin being in goal tells us anything? Do you think we just give him a rest? No even having him in the pool.
I think, put it this way, I think Alan McGregor will be playing on Wednesday, mate. That's my own thoughts.
I did as well. I was going to say, I still think he'll be playing on Wednesday. Aye.
John McLaughlin's got some record for us, isn't he?
Aye, he's good. He's a decent keeper, mate. Decent keeper.
You know, he's some backup, and he might end the number one if Alan decides to hang up the gloves.
Aye, I would agree with that. Aye. Yep.
But I'm in your camp. I didn't think Davis and Lundstrom played well yesterday. I don't think they influenced the game as much, particularly in the forward bit of the play as we would like. But they helped grind us on to a 2-1 victory, JFK.
Yeah, the victory was well deserved, and like yourself, I'd have liked to have seen us put it to bed the second half. Second half at times became a bit turgid, but we kept our shape and we stuck to the plan. But it'd be nice to see another one again.
The highlight of the second half, mate, was that Richard Tate doing the hurdles.
Aye, the diamond. Aye, that was funny.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
That was
brilliant. But you know, that shows what that team were up to. You know, as far as what they wanted to do and they thought they could do. And I thought their manager, he didn't even shake Stephen Gerrard's hand properly, in my opinion, nor any of the Rangers, the other Rangers coaches. It was he's good to just touch it and away he goes. And I thought, I don't like that guy. I don't like him at all. He believed that he could have beat Rangers yesterday, and he said he believed that. But after 20 minutes, the Rangers started to pick the ball a wee bit better. And after half an hour, Rangers were pressing hard. And it wasn't his team who was pressing anymore. It was the Rangers, and they were starting to run short of energy. And that's the truth.
Right, okay. Right, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, I'll give you my thoughts, GFK. I gave them yesterday. I mean, I noticed you had Hadji and Ableton. I thought that our two best players of the 90 minutes yesterday were Goulson and Balogun. I didn't think anybody was a real standout for us. I thought it was a steady, grinding performance where the front players worked hard with little quality. We never named enough chances, in my opinion, and never turned for territory, and particularly in the second half, into more goals to put the game to bed. I thought the front players done okay without setting the head on fire. Alfie gets a goal, Roof gets a penalty, so you're always going to get extra marks for that. Young boy Hadji gets us a penalty, and arguably that was the biggest moment of the game, JFK.
Mm. I agree with you in the aspect of Balogun and Goulson. I mean, Goulson was the one that was winning the aerial battles, and it was one that was getting in there for the corners and that, and it was quite unlucky with one especially. But I just thought that Hadji's creativeness in parts of the game was good, and obviously to get the goal, so that's why it was either between. I thought Aribo had another good game, but I mean everybody get pass marks. I mean I'd have probably gave everybody a 7. Apart from the two that I thought was the best for me was Hadji and Aribo. But look, we could all probably pick other ones there. I mean, certainly Stephen Davis and Lundstrom weren't at the races for me at all. So, but no, I wouldn't argue with your Balogun or Goulson, mate. I would never argue with that.
For the 90 minutes, I mean, they sort of didn't have that much to do in the second half, you know. And I'm going to ask GFK this because Mrs. Bridges warned me not to mention referees, BBC or the Daily Record to Bridge match. Right. That Brophy, again, that's 2 weeks in a row I've watched it, and they must have changed the rules and I've missed something. I thought pulling the jersey was an automatic yellow card, GFK.
Well, that is the rules, unless you're doing it against a Rangers player. And we've seen it, and some of the tackles and pulling the jersey, and I just give the free kick to the guy that pulled the jersey and let the other guy that get face planted just let him go on with it. It's disgusting. Brophy's a hammer thrower, and they're talking about how good a player. He's just a hammer thrower. Same as the boat Power and Onty. He came from Kilmarnock. He's a hammer thrower and all. So, it's a terrible thing that the referee. I mean, I just think it's no paranoia. I just think that a lot of teams play or every team plays Rangers. They get that wee bit extra mile to go, and that's what gets Alfie sent off. I know it has in the past because it does rile you when you're not getting the decisions. But hopefully Alfie never falls into that trap again. But pulling the jersey is a bookable offence, but no if you're against Rangers, mate.
Well said, mate. Well said. It's 2 weeks in a row. I watched that. The Hearts boy, how that number 14, can't remember his name now, but how he was the put to mystery. I was being facetious there, Bridge.
Oh, sorry, pal.
Right, get on these phones. Give Bridge a phone. You can ask him anything about BBC, Daily Record, or referees. What's the number, Bridge?
An argument there. It's not a big fight.
What's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972. Come on in.
If Bridge sounds a bit different tonight, he's had to move to a different wing of the house. I think Obama's staying with him for 3 weeks.
Different wing of the house. Brilliant.
I've just had a text with Big Stevie there.
Right.
Hurry up. Oxyre says you can stay in the shed. There's room for 4 in it.
I'll tell you what, mate. With all the aim here, you'd be better in the shed out the way. I'm just waiting on a delivery for Harrods so I can feed them all.
I'm just sticking the too late sign up in the window, Stevie. I'll not be long.
They'd be better moving to Glasgow 30 this time of the year, wouldn't they?
Damn it.
Very good.
Oh, dear. Tap dance at the Drum Chapel.
Aye.
Penthouse flat in the northwest of the city.
It's got a balustrade.
Oh, you've got to laugh, haven't you?
Definitely.
You've got to laugh. Jimmy, the kind of games, is that the kind of games that win you the league all the time?
Of course it is, mate. It's I mean, it wasn't an ugly game, but it was a hard-working game. We worked hard for the 3 points, so they are the type of games that win it. You know, it's good to go out and see us win 4-5-6-0, and that really pleases us. But so do these games, Oxshire. It's 3 points at the end of the day, no matter who you're playing or what the scoreline is. But games like that gives you watching it or coming away from it with a wee bit of pride that your team fought, especially when you're 1-0 down. And come back to win it in that style. Definite penalty, well taken by Kamar, and a great wee goal for Alfie. So a good job, well done, mate. Good 3 points earned.
Right. You're the experienced Bridgeman, so it's 3 points is 3 points.
No, 100%. Yeah, but I thought we thoroughly deserved the 3 points yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing controversial about Rangers yesterday. We scored the goals. We got a penalty, which was well due. No problem there, and we took care of it through Alfie. And other than that, our players played well, particularly in the second half, by holding on to the ball as much as they could and creating a few chances which we couldn't take. But really and truly, I didn't see anything wrong with our performance. And of course, the big fear was when it got to the last 10 minutes, are we going to do what we have done in the past and cave in? And no, we didn't. We stood up to them and we got tore in and did the business. And I'm very proud of them. Very proud of them. I just think it's just fantastic for Rangers. Fantastic. That could be a season winner, that one. That could be the man that does the season for us.
The manager seemed more pleased than he did in Thursday night, GFK. What?
What's that, mate?
I thought the manager seemed more pleased than he did after a good result on Thursday night.
Aye. I mean, look, I saw the wee snippet that, he was asked a question and don't be silly and don't be asking silly questions, and he handles these questions well. When he looks really pleased, we're not even going to get into this stupid debate that they're all talking about for down south and that. You can tell he feels privileged to be the manager of Rangers. And let's hope that continues for another 3 or 4 seasons. At least. So, he's enjoying it, and I think he knows himself, his comments. He knows that the team fought well for that result in Sunday. So, I don't see anything happening in the very near future. But let others speculate on that. I've heard comments, and again, they're unmentionables, that Rangers fans are worried that he's going to go. I'm not worried. What would you want to go down to a club like that for who are far down the pecking order as far as Rangers are concerned? So doesn't worry me in the slightest. So the gaffer's shown is the way to go, and that's to go for 56, mate.
His hometown team are struggling at the moment. So
they are, mate. Aye.
Sure. Oh my goodness gracious. Bye, Solskjaer. Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, my view's the same with players. GFK, I get it. Managers, players, they all come and go, mate.
Of course. But you know yourself for years going by, many years going by, you and Bridgeman know, and all the guys and gals out there know, these type of stories that surface, especially because they're known the mainstream garbage papers that we don't buy anymore, is there to try and upset Rangers. But look, we're too long in the tooth for that. We know where the lies are coming from and the fake stories and that. So if you want to keep believing them, you get numbnuts coming on to shows and and I'm worried, well, to me they're no real Rangers fans,
Don't worry. Don't worry about the numbnuts. I'll look after Bridge.
All right.
Well done, pal. Well done.
Don't worry, you're all right, Bridge. Did you, by the way, did that fox ever restock up your custard creams there for Bridge? Stevie dumped them all.
No, he didn't.
All right, I'll have a word with him, mate.
Shocker, that foxy boy. Can I just ask you a question? There's something that broke on Follow, and that was to do with the St Mirren chairman. Did you know that story?
Nah, it's not even worth It's
Oh, well,
happened.
okay.
It's so.
If he has said the things, and they find to be true, throw the book at him, mate. Yeah, but don't rise to the bait, mate. Don't rise to the bait.
No, what I was saying was I think they've been looked at by the SFA. That's a bad news for the.
It makes like get the president's job or something.
Yeah.
Big Stevie's texted me again. He gave me an update. Now I'm just wondering. I says, how do I know what shed is Oxchairs? He says, well, all the streets get Union Jacks in them, but this one's got a gay pride flag on them. Are you trying to tell me something?
That's only because I knew who was coming, mate.
All right.
I'm trying to make them feel at home, you know what I mean?
What a shocker. Big
You're
Stevie.
going to get him in that outside at the hot tub.
All right, aye.
Well, meter. You ought to see the spin on the meter. I want to two magnets on it.
2 magnets, aye.
You know, but aye. I'll be working with him in the morning when I take his breakfast into him. Right, where are we? Right, I've just got a wee list here. The Alfredo Morelos list.
Huh?
Where is it? Let me get up. Right, I'll have a look at it.
Alfredo Morelos.
Right, well, I've got post-war. This is for you, JFK, and they'll get pre-war for you, Bridgman, all right? Right, post-war, McCoy's 355, Derek Johnson 210, Ralph Brand 206, Willie Thornton 189, Billy Simpson 165, Jimmy Miller 162. Funny name, that Jimmy Miller. David Wilson 157, Jim Forrest 145, Billy Johnson 125, Max Murray 121, John Gregg 120. Oh, where did I got that? Chris, 1 goal ahead of Chris Boyd, I would tell him all the time, 119. Big Mark Haley 112, Derek Parlin, all the ones. Alex Scott 108, Johnny Hubbard 106. Kenny Miller, one of my all-time favourites, Bridgman, 103, and then we have Alfredo Morelos. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's brilliant, by the way. Good research there, by the way, just brilliant. It
No,
shows you
I stole don't say I researched it, mate. I stole the list with somebody else.
Okay, that's good research as well, then. No, brilliant. And I don't know how many in total you said there. How many?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute, mate. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
So he's 16th. Okay.
He's 17th in the list.
17th in the list. Wow.
Post-war, yeah.
So if he goes on and this season scores, let's say, another 4 or 5 goals for the rest of the season, he'll be jumping up probably.
If we give him 15 goals the rest of the season, he goes ahead of Miller, Hubbard, Scott, Parlin and Haley. So
he'll jump up position-wise, maybe another 4 or 5. So that's quite incredible. Look, we know he should have been scoring a lot more goals. The way he started off with Rangers, scoring goals, and it looked like easy goals he was scoring, making them look easy, I should say.
I'll look at the guy nearest them, JFK, yeah, and I'll look how many games he played for us, and we'll see. Put it in context, yeah.
On you go.
But it's a good list he's on, eh?
It's a good list, mate. Aye, definitely. Aye, very illustrious. Jimmy Miller's a good player. He was a great player.
Aye, well, obviously, we talked about Jim Forrest.
Aye.
There's talk that we might be starting something up to try and get Jim Forrest on the Hall of Fame. There's people on YouTube started mentioning it.
Yeah, I'd love Rangers Radio to help them out with that. Absolutely.
Just an interesting thing was, I know we're talking about Alfie and that. I mean, John Gregg, how many goals in how many games?
Oh, I'll give you that in a total. By the way, that list, according to this, Kenny Miller's got 116. They're saying 103 is that league goals. No. Maybe took off other competitions when he was with Kenny Miller. But Kenny Miller done it in 300 games, 237 starts and 63 subs. You know, so Alfie's done it. And he's got 100 games to catch up with Kenny, you know.
Aye. The reason I was asking about John Gray, because
I'll
probably
give you that, mate. I'll give you that in a second. You carry on.
it was as obviously as captain of Rangers and a centre back, and that played right back and all left back, played everywhere. Is James Tavernier. The amount of goals he scored to the game.
Mate, one at a time, eh?
Yeah, I'm just trying to compare the two.
Well,
he's meant to be the king of the castle, Bridge, man, isn't he?
I know, I'm trying my best here. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to get John Gregg for you. You don't give me two that are alphabetically next to each other.
Make life easy for him.
Oh dear.
John Gregg.
Greg must have 600 games or something.
772.
Oh my God. God.
I was going to say 600 nods, but that's as many as that. And he was in the hundreds goals, 110 you said.
So how many games, without that list, how many games did Forrest play for Rangers?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's a quiz night.
It's an easy question. You've got all the figures at hand.
Well, you tell me then.
I don't know. You've got the figures.
I've not got everybody's in front of me.
Oh, you don't. I thought you'd have.
What do you think? I've got everybody, every player that's ever played for us in front of us.
I'll look it up.
Jim Forrest. You only wanted it because he played with Drumchapel Amateurs. That's what you wanted.
Oh, yes. A great team.
146 goals in 166 games. Jeff.
There you go.
166
games.
It's a good record, on it.
So Alfie's got quite a wee bit to go, goal-wise.
But he's already played more games than Jim Forrest.
Aye.
Well, there you go then. So I don't think he's never going to, statistically, he's never going to catch him. That's correct. So Forrest must be out on his own as far as the stats go.
A ratio, mate. That's
what
I'm saying. GFK.
I mean, I think going by the amount of games that they played back then, you know, I mean, don't forget, I mean, there's not as many games played back then as there is now.
Well, I know, mate. They had that League Cup sections, mate. We used to play, you know, they used to play 6 games before the season started. They had a lot of games in the League Cup.
The League Cup section started in the middle 70s.
And then we had thingy. You had a lot of the cup games went to 1 and 2 replays and etc. No,
aye.
So you could back up games in that. The league wasn't as big, you know. I'll have a look at his breakdown of these games, mate, just for you, yeah.
Please, mate, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, just jump forward.
It's not been nice to you.
37 League Cup ties, yeah.
Yep.
And only 10 Scottish Cup ties. So there you go. There's a difference, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in 3 seasons in a row, he played 10 League Cup games. Yeah, scoring 16, 17, and 10 between 63 and 66, mate.
Aye.
So only 105 Scottish League games, but he played 37 League Cup games.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
So right, we'll go if we go into the current score and that, but the game and yesterday, did you see his idea of bringing Patterson on yesterday? Did that work for you?
Well, what, because it's seen as the line and Patterson brought legs to the team for the last few minutes. I thought his smart substitution was taking Morelos off, because as much as I didn't think Alfie was playing poorly, he was the worst, but he's always likely to trip somebody up or something and he'd get a second yellow.
Yep.
You know, so I thought that made sense, yeah. Patterson, I don't think we could see we had enough time to judge him playing in that position.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
You know, what did you think, Bridge?
I was very happy when Patterson came on, I must admit. I thought that it was quite a nice fresh pair of legs. And he was another one who was jersey pulled. It was heading for the box for the ball. It was jersey pulled twice by the same person. And really and truly, just what we were talking about earlier, the things that were happening. And that, to me, yellow card and then a red. It's just terrible that the referees are doing these things. These are in the laws of the game. They've got to be done. Got to be looked at. Anyway, I was happy he was there, and I think he gave a wee bit more impetus and a bit of breathing space for Rangers. That's what I thought.
Seen as on the line. Right, we need to remember, if you're listening, it's a phone-in show. We need anybody's welcome to phone in here if they want to talk about what's up, GFK.
Talk about everything about the Rangers. You want to come in and have a chat about flitting or renting a house or moving or talk to Bridgeman about his love life or that, anything at all.
Where does all this come from?
Anything at all.
Everybody's moving in with each other at the moment.
Aye.
I don't know what's happening. You think something's happening? There's a few quid to move in.
Aye.
Mate.
To see how the rent prices are in different places, no? Would they get more for renting Knightswood or Peterson Park than you would in Drumchapel?
I don't know, mate, but I don't know. I'm just trying to get my moth light tonight to better on for 3 weeks.
No.
You know? Right, come and join us. 0141 356 1972. What do they talk about, Bridgeman?
Talk about anything you want to talk about with the Glasgow Rangers. And
also,
and of course, there's other emotional stuff you could talk about with yourself.
We have a new receptionist, man on the phones this evening. New receptionist. A lot of training there. A lot of training. A lot of time and effort went into it.
So everybody, get on your phone and call in. You could do with your calling. You could do that.
Right. Okay. So, the Patterson one. I just seen the game out. I think Arfield came on. I didn't like the way we sort of just seen the game out. I would rather the ball was up the end of the park, if I'm being honest, JFK.
Yeah, I get really frustrated at that. I know it's a thing that a lot of teams are doing now, that last 4 or 5 minutes and faffing about with the ball in the corner and all that. And I know it can cost you a goal if you don't keep a hold of the ball, but it frustrates you. But I think we should have went for the jugular, because I think we're a far better team than St Mirren are ever going to be, and it was nice to have seen at least another 1 goal again, but it didn't happen for us. But we're happy with the result, obviously.
Aye. Like the Bromby game, mate. See if we get the third goal against St Mirren, we get the third goal against Bromby. The energy sucks out of them. You might end up scoring 4 or 5.
Aye.
You know?
Yep, totally.
Yeah, I heard you saying we could have won 4 or 5. Were you speaking about yesterday's game?
Oh, I never said that. You just keep up with the programme.
I would like to have seen it.
I thought I heard you saying that 4 or 5. I
never said that. What I said is if you get a third goal, you can suck the energy out of them. Yeah?
I'm sorry, I missed that again. What did you say?
Yes, you obviously weren't listening. That's how you missed it.
No, that's okay. Okay, I'm already missing it.
Go and stand in that corner over there.
Stand in the corner.
Put that on. You've had that a lot, haven't you? AB, over there. Right, no, what I said, Bridgeman, if we get the third goal like we could have done on Thursday night, it sucks the energy out of teams, and then you can maybe go to 1, 4 or 5, yeah?
That's exactly what I thought you'd said. We could have scored. We could have won 4 or 5, but I missed the first bit. No, you're absolutely right. We score a third goal there, and they'll fall apart. Completely fall apart, because the spirit would just die out of them, because they know they couldn't. They scored a wonder goal in 3 minutes or something like that, and then they struggled to make any impact at all on Rangers, even although they had the vast majority of the ball in the first 20 minutes. And the rest of the game, I'm afraid to say to them, it was Rangers. There was only 1 team in it, and that was Rangers. Rangers were on the front foot, and we were devastating on them. They didn't know what to do with us. They couldn't hope. They had brought up a single good save, but anyway.
My criticism would be again, GFK, that no enough shots at goal and no enough goals. And as I say, if we get the third goal, that's the big goal in that game.
Yeah, that's my criticism about Rangers every week, mate. The goal that Lundstrom scored a couple of weeks ago was a world goal, and I might see our team do more of that, but we don't. We keep seemingly trying to walk the ball into the net, and we know we can play great football, but sometimes the finish just at the end just isn't what it should be. have a dig. And as I've said before on here, I don't care if it's like a pinball machine and it takes a bang off of 4 or 5 players. As long as it ends up in the back of the net, that's all that matters for me. I don't care if it becomes a treble own goal. Just put the ball in the back of the net, have a dig at it, and let's have a hit and hope. That's all you can do.
Lundstrom wasn't going to score for how deep he was he?
Oh, no, he wasn't. No, he could have been better sitting in my living room. I'd have charged him for rent right enough.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Go on yourself, pal. Go on yourself. That was brilliant.
I think there's a broom cupboard going sparing bridges, but he has to get the snooker table with it.
I love it.
You know, but aye, but good 3 points. Be good to hear what people have got to say. What's the number, Bridgeman?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Right, okay. We'll put it to bed unless we get callers in. We'll start looking forward to a big game on Wednesday night, JFK.
Big game, mate. Well, every game's a big game for us, isn't it? Because every 3 points is precious to us, you know. But look, we'll obviously talk about it after the tune and that. But this is a team that always come to us or we go to them, and they play it as if it's a cup final. I know we done them 5-0 in May, but no, let's put this mob to bed on Wednesday night. This is a team you'd like to score another 4 or 5 against, you know, and it'll be good to see Greeting Face on there, on the park, and he gets his come-ups, you know, and everybody that's gone to the game, just remember and sing loud, sing proud, and make sure you give him it tight. It's a big game.
It is a big game because it's 3 points.
It's 3 points, mate, exactly.
That's what it's all about. Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 points is a must for us. It was a must. And every game, I'll say that right now, every game, if we can get 3 points in every game, there's no Rangers fan in the world will be unhappy. Get us 3 points is all we ask. And I know we didn't look great for a big chunk of that game. But my goodness, we came on it and did well. And that's a tight wee pitch, and the pitch was in great condition. And even the manager mentioned that. So we did well. Our Warriors did well. Just do the business. Every game, do the business the best you can. Score goals. Go for it.
All right. I want to talk about Sakala after we come back, if that's all right. We used 2 fine gentlemen.
Yeah.
We've seen a brilliant touch when they first came on. And we've seen a not so good touch in front of goal. But we'll have a word about him. But gents, get yourself a mute. We're going to have a tune.
I'd been in exile for some years and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Morelos. And it's football, it was grand, from McMillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the league flag must come nearer with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. and the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored, and the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal rampant Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Oh, one of my all-time favourites, that. One of my all-time favourites.
Yep, good tune.
Right, Fashion Sakala, he came on and he done a bit of skill going down the wing. I thought, oh, here we go. Yeah, don't know if you noticed that one, GFK.
I did, mate. I did, but I think sometimes he flatters.
Is he a bit Ted McMinish, if that makes sense?
Well, that's a good shout. Aye, you could be right there. And I never thought of the Tin Man there. Mm-hmm. Aye, I'm wanting Sakala to be a success, obviously, same as everybody else. But he needs to get Mary a chance, and he's getting. No use having him as a back part player. He's got to get a full 90 minutes or a couple of 90 minutes under his belt. Shows what he can really do.
As the problem is, but it's when you get the 90 minutes.
Yeah, of course it is.
You know,
of course it is.
If you're number 4 or 5 in the pecking order, you've got to get that 90 minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, so when you come on, you've got to do something. Brisbane, I think he should have scored, but I mean, I don't want to criticise somebody missing a header, you know, but it happens. But
I think he's. I personally think he's been going for that ball and then he's shut his eyes. The ball could have just moved slightly in the air because it looked like he completely missed it, and that might have been because I think these players tend to shut their eyes. But it's not like shooting or anything like that where you need to be able to see. You're going to header the ball. A lot of the guys just think they're going to get it. It's going to hit them. You see it in a professional game in the EPL where the ball hits a guy's shoulder and goes into the net or goes out for a goal kick or whatever. And they do look as if they're just shutting their eyes. That's what I think anyway. I might be totally wrong. But yeah, I think that guy should have scored that goal. That was a great chance he had. Wonderful chance when he went for it. He just missed the ball completely.
Aye, well, look, he's got pace, but we're not seeing that because of the way the opposition's setting up, and we'll see as the season progresses where it takes us. But I would say, without being cruel, the jury's out, GFK.
Well, definitely, but look, as I said before, and you have as well mean about Hadji and that, we think there's a player in there and the jury's out, and it's gone 70-30 by me the new for Hadji, and I think that'll be the same with Sakala. But I watched the highlights last week, and he scored a cracking goal.
Okay. I'll cut across you there, mate. We've been joined by William.
All right.
Hello.
Evening, William.
Hello. How do you do?
How are you doing, mate?
The fans in Royal Blue. Hello.
Hello. Oh, all right. You don't get more money when you come on here if you sing, but you're better than Brent. I'll give you that.
At least you appreciate it was singing, you know.
Yes. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. What's on your mind, William?
Yesterday's game, bad start, terrible start. I think we know that. No, that's been well said. I think their goal, I've looked at it about half a dozen times, and I think our goalkeeper, the ball travels about 20 yards before the keeper moves. 20 yards. He's a 25-yarder.
I suppose you could be criticise a goalkeeper.
It's a great show. It's a great show.
Okay. Well, if a Rangers player had scored that, mate, you'd have been dancing up and down.
Oh, aye. It's a great shot, but
the
keeper never moved his... The ball was just about the six-yard line before he moved his feet.
I think you've been a bit harsh here, to be honest.
No, you look at it, and that's exactly what happened.
Everybody's got their own opinion while you're watching it. I mean, I'm looking... The perfect place to strike a ball is in the postage stamp. Aye. And it was right in that corner. And there's no... I know you're saying maybe... No, you've been a wee bit critical there, saying that the goalkeeper should maybe have moved a bit earlier, but... for me, I thought it was a worldly goal. I thought the boy took it well. And we've got to give him credit for that. As I say, if any Rangers player had scored that, they'll be dancing up and down saying that's a goal of the season so far.
Aye, but you can have great shots and you can have great saves at the same time.
I agree with you there, mate. I agree, but I still think it was a cracking goal.
Go back and look at it, and you tell me when the keeper moves. Because I'm telling you, I've looked at it, and the ball travels 20 yards before he moves his feet.
Maybe so, mate, but I still think, as I say, everybody's got their own opinion about what they watch. I watched the whole game today again, and it wasn't something I was looking for. I just knew the goal was coming, and it was a cracking goal.
It was saying that the goalkeeper didn't have the sight of it, and he mistimed it or what?
I don't know if the goalkeeper he lost his concentration or something.
I don't think a goalie's going to move to the last 5 yards of a 25, 30-yard shot anyway. Because if he does go too soon, he's going to be out of position, isn't he?
I think Ox, when he sees which side of the net it's going to, he wants to move towards that side of the net.
Oh, you mean with his feet? Is that what you're saying?
Aye, his feet. He never moved his feet.
All right.
Until the ball reached about the 6-yard line. So it went about 20 yards and he never moved his feet.
So but wait, the point you're making is that maybe he was half a yard out of his positioning. Is that what you're saying?
That's the point I'm making.
Right, okay. I get where you're coming from. Listen, I think you could say that about any good strike. It was a good strike, and you might be, without looking at it, and obviously you've looked in a bit of detail.
I have.
I've got that game tape, but I took that bit out because I don't like seeing Rangers lose any goal, you know. But I'll take your word for it. But what about the rest of the game? After 20 minutes, what did you think, William?
Oh, I think they got the early goal, which is just what they wanted. And they passed the ball about. I mean, I was looking at it last night, and I was listening to Ryland Thompson on the BBC, and they were praising him. You know, he was with us, but he was also with them. And they were praising them because they passed the ball about. They were passing the ball about in their own half after they scored the goal. And once we found our feet, we grew into the game. We started playing our game, and we just took over. And it was just attack, and we saw the goal coming. I don't think we've seen it coming for a penalty, but we saw that a goal was coming.
Who was your man of the match, William?
Balogun.
Balogun.
I think Aribo was a shadow of the player that he was during the week.
I don't think he was ever going to be as good, was he?
No, he was marvellous against Brøndby. Absolutely magic.
You know, I think the thing was he tried a couple of times and you could actually see a combination between the Bono running and his feet sticking in the mud.
That's right, the surface was shocking. They had soaked that surface. As we said, it's been done intentionally. Because, you know...
It's a leveler.
That's exactly it. That was the same. See, the night they knocked us at the Cup last year. Remember, it was pouring the rain.
Aye.
And it was pouring the rain that night. And that levelled the game for them. And so they tried to recreate that.
But we got the victory.
Bring us down to their level.
We got the victory.
Aye, I mean, to be honest, I can't remember a lot about the second half, apart from the fact when they came up for that corner at the end, I thought, no.
No, again. My highlight second half was Richard Tate doing the Hunderland.
You know, see when Alfie scored his goal and he jumped in the crowd, I was trying to roll and ball and celebrate so that the puddle drinkers run about and we could hear me. But I just couldn't for laughing. I just laughed and laughed and laughed. And even when they showed you the replay, I still laughed. It was so funny.
Some man, Alfie, some man. He's some man.
I can't make out if he's an actor or if he's a footballer or a bit of both.
He pulls some faces, you know.
He really does.
How good's he been for us, mate, on the piece? What's your thoughts?
Amazing. He is. He's one of these kind of unorthodox strikers, I think. You know, defenders, they don't know what to do with him. He's a different player for Roof. I think Roof is a bit of a poacher, a bit of a fox in the box, as they say. You know, he snakes about and he sniffs out a goal, whereas Morelos, he likes a bit of a battle before he gets a goal. You know, he likes to get his back against the defender and turn them and shoot and score, sort of thing. I thought it was a great header, glancing header. Absolutely, because the ball bounced up, you know. It was difficult. And for Andy Walker to say, oh, it just hit his head, that's ridiculous. I cannot watch Sky Sports because I can't listen to him.
I think
if I'm forced to watch Sky Sports, I have to turn the sound down if he's on.
You're definitely a wise man. JFK.
William, I wouldn't like to sit and watch a game with you, mate. You're hyper-critical, mate, but I've not got a problem with that, but my God, sitting watching the game, I mean, I know you're saying you could sit and listen to some of the rubbish that's talking for different commentators, but I turn the sound down as far as I can and I watch the game. But on the day we deserved the 3 points, there's no doubt
Absolutely
about that. It was a performance. We played well the first 20 minutes we were very, very poor. And then we controlled it after that. But I don't know if you agree with myself and Ox here in Brisbane, we're talking about earlier on. I'd like to see us finish a game there. He's that wee bit of breathing space, put another one in the net, 3-1, and we're really comfortable. At 2-1, you've always got that inclination, especially when you've seen their goalkeeper coming up. And I know we've all got this, the St Johnson goalkeeper the last time that happened with us, no, it wasn't. I wasn't really that bothered about that, but I'd like to see us put the game to bed. I think we play too much football outside the box at times without taking a shot.
Aye. Well, I saw a stat yesterday that we had 33 touches inside their penalty area.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot.
Without getting the shots away, I mean, there was Hadji had a fantastic dummy, but just the pity there was nobody to die.
I thought we were a bit unlucky with a couple of the headers that went straight to the keeper.
Well, I'll tell you, see, for me, one of the headers, Ali McCoy scores a goal there.
That's right. That's exactly right.
He gets himself in that position, he gets himself a tap in. Or it hits off his shoulder and goes in the net and he's running away celebrating.
I think defenders, they just header the ball. They're used to heading the ball and just clearing it. You know, there's power with them, but there's no real direction.
Yeah.
You know, they're used to heading out of defence, and that means they just want it to go anywhere out the way, sort of thing. You know.
A wee touch on your score. Anyway, we've also been joined by Andrew from the Leeds. Evening, Andrew.
Hi, good evening, Ox, Bridge, William, Jimmy.
Good evening, mate.
Hope you're all well.
Good, mate. What's on your mind?
Just come on and carry on from what you're saying there. My concern for the Rangers just now is we're not getting enough goals in front and we're always leaving the cell open for a counter-attack to losing a couple of points or possibly 3 if it's nothing. We should be, you know, the number of chances that we're so-called telling that we're having shots off, we're not really testing any keeper or like that, you know, so, and then, you know, you have 2-1 there, first 25, diabolical. 10 minutes before we got the penalty, we started coming into it, goals in the 2 or 3 headers. Got a penalty, goal by Morelos. We didn't really seem to put enough power into the second half to go and want to get that second goal. It was huff and puff stuff for me. And then you're left right at the last minute there where the big goalie comes running up. And, you know what can happen, which has happened to us before. Fortunately for ourselves, we got the result. I know that's all that matters right enough, but I would like to see us starting posting the cell. It's going on too long for me now.
We've got to go in and make it 3-1. You see the old shoot things you get, and you move the ladders. You remember that, JFK, the shoot, and you move your team up and down every week, you know? Andy, where are we in that ladder, do you know?
Well, we're top, and I totally get where you... I get where you're coming from.
Stick to the question. Thank you for top. Thank you.
You're not letting me finish, are you? You're not letting me finish.
Thank you. It was a simple question for top.
I know, but you didn't let me finish.
No, you're finished.
I get that. Aye.
You'll be back in a minute. Don't worry.
I know.
JFK.
I mean, I saw that start myself, you know, the amount of times that we had the ball in about the box, and I just like to have 1 or 2, maybe 3 shots at the goal, and they just have a dig. I've been saying this for the last couple of seasons. have a dig. I don't care. It's like I'm preaching on it. It's like same old. I don't care how many players it hits off. I just get the ball in the back of the net. That's all I want to see the Rangers goal. And I'm just wishing we would do it more often. Some of the play we've got building up and then it just falls in its face, doesn't it? And that's annoying. It really, really is annoying at times.
Who are you blaming? I'll go to you first, Andy. Who are you blaming? You blaming the midfield for not creating enough? Are you blaming the strikers for not putting them away? Or are you blaming both?
Well, personally, I'm blaming the old team for not being on the right wavelength at the moment enough. You know, if the back plays well, to the midfield plays well, that puts the confidence into the strikers, and then it's all in tandem. We're doing it. Where's the 5-second rule we had last season? If we lose the ball, we get it back in 5 seconds. There's none of that. We're slow at times. I mean, you can't. I don't care what anybody says. Football, it'll come back and bite you on the backside. You can't sit and say, right, we're in front, and try to see to play the games out the way the Rangers are playing now. Now, if we were playing like we were playing last season, we'd go on and get that third goal or that fourth goal. I mean, it's a worry. I'm just worried that, we were sitting with 6. We should be a lot more in front. It's gone now, so we can't change that. We're sitting with 6. We've got 2 up. That's 4. 1 slip, it's down to 1. So they need to start scoring goals. It's in them. But that's my worry. I'm great. As long as Rangers win, yeah, I get that. But we have to start, making sure that these games are safer. And we can see the last 10 or 15 minutes out. But you're 2-1 at 1-0. That defence gets shaky, as I said to you. When it gets down to that last bit, they don't look like they can defend after the time. And there is where the problem lies. Bigger teams will probably get caught. So hopefully I'm wrong and we go on and do what we want us to do. But I'm thinking now, 10 games, we should be showing a wee bit more consistent. I know we've got injuries, COVID and all that, but, we should be showing a wee bit more than what we're showing now. We're now into November. So that's just my take on it.
Just where are we in that shoot ladder? Again, I'm just...
I'll just give you my explanation. We won't be on top of it if we keep just hanging out on games.
One word answer. Where are we in the shoot ladder?
So,
thank you. Folks, by the way, you're right about the way we're playing. I wouldn't argue with a thing you're saying there, but you're right the way we're playing. William, you get any hand, mate? You want to stay and go?
See what you're saying there about the shoot table. A funny story about the shoot table. When I was a wee boy, I got the shoot magazine. My older brother got the goal magazine. I don't know if you remember that.
Goal,
and he was always saying mine was rubbish and his was the best. And I used to sit and do my wee tables every Saturday night, sort out all the tables. And he said, that's rubbish. Mine's the best magazine. And a couple of weeks later, what happens? Goal went out of business. And it said, shoot incorporating goal. And my mother brought them home, one for me, one for him, and he said, that's rubbish, and he threw us in the bin. After years of telling me my magazine was rubbish, this was the best.
You imagine you that I wouldn't do.
Oh, I know.
What is that?
What Andy's saying about finishing teams off.
Yes.
Yesterday, in the Hearts game and the Motherwell game, the total 3 games we've had 70 shots.
Wow.
If you take away the penalty for yesterday, we've had 3 goals. And see, yesterday, I put Sky Sports on to watch the Man United Liverpool. And Jermaine Defoe's in the studio working for Sky Sports. I couldn't believe it. You think he's there to coach our strikers? And he could not have been at that St Mirren game.
Well, he could have been. I know he's good, Jermaine, but he can't have been 2 places at once.
No, but he shouldn't have been there. He should have been at our game.
Wow. I don't think
you'll see where our strikers are going wrong.
I think you'll find that there'll be something in his contract. He can do some other stuff as well, yeah?
Well, it shouldn't be when we've got that's a team that knocked us out the cup last season. We knew it was going to be difficult.
But he'll say that...
But strikers are not scoring goals.
Can I come in, Oxford?
Yes, mate, carry on.
It's just to say, look, the truth of the matter is, yesterday's gone. It's yesterday's news now. We need to go forward. Big game coming up on Wednesday. I'm so looking forward to it because I want to see my team, our Rangers. I want to see our Rangers, and my Rangers, whatever you want to call it, beating Aberdeen. But against St Mirren, the goal shots on goal, 19 shots on goal, and 7 of them on the mark. Their goalkeeper made probably half a dozen saves on that. So I don't think that's too bad, considering, I mean this in all honesty, considering the first 30 minutes we were absolutely woeful and didn't get the ball at all, hardly. So it took us a half an hour just to get into the game and get a grip of the ball. And so that's not too bad for an hour's football. We've got 19 shots in.
But Bridge, you're looking at 3 goals out of 70 shots.
That's fair enough. I'm not arguing about the number of shots and goals. What I'm saying is we got shots and goals yesterday, considering we had a half an hour of the game where we get nothing. We never even got a kick of the ball hardly. So
that's true.
We are not going to go out there against St Mirren in a crappy pitch, should I say, and that team up for it. They were up for it, we weren't.
I think the big goal was Andy says the third goal. You get the third goal and...
Oh yes, 100%. 100%. Well, we all know that, don't we?
Anything else on your mind, William?
I think our second goal, we knew that we were flying when we get that second goal, and unfortunately for us, it was right on half time. It's a good time to score, but we were absolutely flying then. We had the momentum, and half time came at the worst time possible for us. And then he gets them in, he gets them all organised, they get a bit of a rest, and he gets them all reorganised, and they come back out and they have a wee bit of a go because they're losing now. They've got to have a go now. They're losing. You know, as I say that, I can't remember much about the second half. You know, I can't remember.
I think you'll see it. I think at the end of the season it'll be one of the highlights in the DVD. Oh. No, it was classic.
Maybe theirs, no yours.
You're right, it was their classic. But listen, Andy, I know what you're saying and pretty factually correct. That people will argue that that's the kind of games that spring you onto the league title.
Yeah, well, you know, we've said that right enough. But I mean, it's just, I'm just worried, you know, I don't want to see us tossing these points away. And, you know, there is games, no matter, you know, you can be battering a team all day and have one of the days where you don't score. So there will be games if we don't start putting these teams away now, like the Morelos, like the Hearts, you know, it can always happen. And that's what I just want to see us, you know, open up a wee bit. As Jimmy said, he's totally right. Hit it from around that box. Hit it, deflect. It doesn't matter how it goes in, as long as it goes in. At the end of the day, the object of any football game is to put the ball in the rigging.
Score a goal.
Huh?
Aye, mate.
Just talking about them league ladders, Rangers, when I was away, the Rangers won the league every year because I never took Rangers off the top.
Yeah. Well done, mate. Well done. Seriously, but you imagine getting away one of them now, Andy. Imagine it.
Oh, aye. So you used to wait for them, like, you know, down here, you need to get them league ladders brilliant. Well, Celtic they were never in my ladder there. I got through away straight away. I just had a blank piece of card for them.
I don't think they were all in the same league as us. But,
that was when it was 18 teams, wasn't it? That ladder.
What was that, Andy? Sorry, I missed that.
The ladders that we used to get back in the day, that was when it was 18 team league.
That's correct, aye. That was correct. Yeah. Aye, you know. JFK matches on the main sitting a Saturday night and a Sunday morning with the papers come out moving all your teams about now.
Aye, I know. Aye, we all done it. I remember the one used to write all the names of the teams for all over the world, as many as you can remember, and roll dice to see what the scores were. Imagine trying to tell the Waynes how to do that. What are you talking about? You should be in an asylum.
Jimmy, Rangers never lost in that neither, because I fixed the time.
No, definitely. I always made it sure into extra time. It was a double six. Aye. Oh, the joys, eh?
Double sixes. We couldn't find another one, but we've been joined by Alec Kelly. Evening, Alec.
Good evening, boys. Bridgeman, Oxshire, Jimmy. Is that the Reverend I.M. Jolly Leeds we've got in tonight?
No.
Oh, there he goes. Hey, listen, I've been good to you for the last 2 days. Behave yourself now.
The trees will get put in mute. Yes. What's on your mind, Mr. Kelly?
Oh, he likes a mono, Andy, didn't he?
I've not noticed myself. I find him quite a tweeny guy.
Anyway, I would just like to compliment Bridgeman's surmising of the game. Got to be positive, lads. Come on, we're top of the table.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
On the shoot ladder, we're top of the table.
No, but I think we're showing good character. We're no, obviously, listen, being honest about it, yeah, we didn't start the game at all well yesterday. We were second best to the balls, and that's very unlike us. But I think we're showing great character this year. We're weighing on, like say, the experience we had for last year. We're no panicking. We're putting ourselves back in again, and we're then taking control again. Obviously, we would like to start a lot quicker and a lot better than what we were. But you got to look in the positive. We turned a 0 points into 3 points. So let's keep it going, is what I'm saying.
I think you're right about them grinding and showing a will to do it. I think that Fox says this team finds 9 times out of 10 they'll find a way of winning. And it's a compliment to them. But I think Andy's also right about the lack of goals, Alec.
Oh, bang on. And William said there 70 odd shots at goals in the Motherwell, the Hearts, and yesterday's game there. That's kind of alarming statistics. But I think Morelos was a wee bit of a monkey in the back with the 100 goals hanging over him. I think you look to see him kick on. I think Roof been up there. His movement was excellent yesterday. I thought Hadji was outstanding myself. And we've got Ryan Kent, Ryan Jack, and Big Hillander to come back. Come on, let's go.
70 efforts, three scores over 3 weekends. That sounds like Fox up with Savoy, JFK.
They're all cream.
Look, I think we're being a wee bit too overcritical, myself. We're top of the ladder, as they say. We're top of the league. And,
I'm going to get you one of them for your Christmas.
You've got to remember, everybody's saying, Rangers last 5 games, 10 points. Celtic last 5 games. Rangers last 5 games, 11 points. Celtic last 5 games, 10. And they're saying that we're in the crisis and they're flying, Let's take into perspective. We're still top of the league. It'd be nice to score 4 and 5 and 6 goals every game. As I said earlier on, that's not happening for us. So it's a wee bit through the fingers watching at times because we're only winning by that 1 goal. But we'll take that at the end of the season, guys. As long as the champions are us, and that's all we can ask for. But am I alarmed about 70? I'm not really, to be quite honest, because we're winning. I'm more concerned about keeping the players on the park. Making sure the players are injury free, because we're coming into this bad time of the season when injuries can be crucial. We've got to remember as well, we could lose 3 of our first team players for the African Nations Cup in December, January. So we need to make sure all our players are all fit and able to be picked. So that's where Sakala could come into the equation and things like that. So we just need to wait and see, guys.
Just look, Andy, I'm going to get you one of your ladders. You can get them on eBay for £1.25.
I don't want them or the mini self in it, please. Get the 2 other teams in it.
Oh, you can still buy them. I'm going to get you one for your Christmas, mate.
I'll pick it up in March.
What do you think of our lovely new receptionist?
Well, I never heard them, but it just nobody answered me. It just rang back.
All right, okay.
I asked the receptionist, did you like suspenders? He says, no really, because they pull the hairs in my legs.
Did you speak to him, Alex?
I spoke to the boss.
Yeah.
I spoke to the boss upstairs. Very nice.
Okay. Very nice.
Is that, mind that press conference Jurgen Klopp had a few years, went, oh la la, very erotic voice.
Once we get him to a finishing school, we'll be fine, yeah?
That's cool.
It's certainly better than Foxes.
Oh, Foxes are busy, very busy Fox. Very busy man. Right, okay. William, you anything else to add, mate? Always good to hear from you.
Did you notice early in the game, Lundstrom one of their players, he tried to go up the line by Lundstrom. Lundstrom put him up in the air. Did you notice that? I think it was right in front of the dugouts, was it? And I got to say, I was pleased to see that, because that's what they do to our players. And we don't usually do that. He never got a yellow card, but it was quite early in the game. Had it been half an hour later, he probably got a yellow card. But I got to say, I was pleased to see him doing it, because I know he's a tough tackler. And that's what I want to see. If they're going to do that with us, we need to do that with them.
I didn't think Lundstrom had the greatest game yesterday. I thought he was okay while you were through. But what he is, he's quite a big unit, eh?
I heard it said that they were looking for him and Davis to sit in front of the back four. I heard that said. They were looking for them to sort of operate just in front of the back four to stop, you know how that Mackay ran through the Hearts game, to stop something like that happening. Maybe they thought that Brophy was going to try that. You know, he's got better pace. Maybe it was to try and prevent that.
I think they were just trying to get a foothold to go, but for me, I'll go to Alex Kelly and Andy with us. I think they were playing too deep.
Aye.
Alex?
For me, I think it's obvious that Lundstrom and Davis can't play in the same team. I watched it last week against Hearts, and Lundstrom was having an excellent game, and he made the positional change to bring on Davis, but the two of them are standing each other's toes. I think Kamara offers a better balance in the team, and to be honest with you, see when Ryan Jack comes back, I think Davis will be struggling to get a game in the team.
Wow.
I think Lundstrom's your main man going forward.
How did they go on Thursday with the two of them playing together? Did we win?
We did, aye, but it wasn't the best of opposition.
The Danish champions. Andy, the Danish champions beat St Mirren.
I wasn't impressed with them. I thought they were
still the Danish champions. Andy?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think the two of them didn't.
When we mentioned Danish, he was looking for pastries, wasn't he?
Well, you've obviously swatchy his pictures, haven't you? Anyway, as far as Davis and fortunately, right, Davis doesn't look. He has that kind of look about him now that maybe he knows that his legs are not like they used to be. But I don't know. I mean, they did all right apparently, didn't they, in the European game? They wasn't bad, but they wasn't great neither. Yeah, I think it will be, as Alex said, Lundstrom and Jack, if Jack comes back fit, and Davis will probably get picked for certain games, certain formations that he's going to go with. Maybe you could have, in some stages, if Davis gets back to any kind of form that we know he can, you could have maybe Davis and Kamara, one for one game. And if Jack comes back fit, you could have Jack and Lundstrom, couldn't you? In another midfield, along with Aribo. So that could happen. Whether they can play together, well, I mean, they've only had a couple of games and a couple of little sub-appearances, so you can't have it. Unless you see guys getting a string of games together and getting the field for each other and knowing where each is going to be, that's when you find out big parts that they're doing the new.
How many games have we started together in the last few weeks? How many have they started together? Anybody know?
2.
2.
Mm-hmm. How many have we? What's the scores been, Bridge?
They've won.
Just wondering.
I like to bring you down to earth, don't you? It's like, what you more or less says we're talking to you.
A mathematics lesson.
Used to never. I've ordered 2 of these shoot ladders. One for you, one for you, Andy.
Shoot ladders. Andy's a windy cleaner. He's fed up looking at ladders.
I fell off one the other week, I'll tell you.
He gets a lot of ladders in his tights when he's playing balls.
Oh, dear.
Confessions of a windy cleaner if he leads.
Oh, definitely. So, come down two on, and it was that banger there from the other side, sending them silly bloody texts. So I was looking at it and I fell off the bloody ladder. bounced off the table and on the floor. He was on the names under the sun.
It's against the law to look at your phone
fell
when
in
you're
the
up a
bin.
ladder.
What did they send you? A selfie? Give you a friend?
There ain't a screen big enough for his coupon, I can tell you.
Brilliant.
Right. Listen, we're talking about Lundstrom here. I've been actually quietly impressed with him. I didn't think he had the greatest start. GFK ways, he didn't set the header on fire. He's getting better and better. He wasn't great on Sunday, but all team weren't great. New to him, European football, then league matches on Sunday. But I don't think if he's playing on Wednesday night, how do you think that will go? I think there's only one winner for me.
I'd like to see Lundstrom up against Browning Wednesday night. I think that could be quite tasty. You know, I would look forward to that. I just feel that the way that him and Davis played on Sunday, we played far, far too deep. And it's not what I like to see. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen on Wednesday night, Oxford. So we'll just need to wait and see. I mean, Wednesday night's game's the type of game that you want Sir Stephen to play in. But I still would like to see John Lundstrom there as well, because I think he would do. Is that midfield battler that we're missing? You know, I think it's a long road back for Ryan Jack. I don't know when that's going to happen. Probably, I think I heard you say last week. Probably after the new year, we might actually see him getting a run out in the team, because whatever injuries he's got. But for me,
he's back training. He's
back training, but I still think he's a while away. Oxford. I mean, I know we've got the stupid international break at the start of next month coming again, and etc. So, but no, look, if he's going to play the two of them on Wednesday night, which that's his decision, obviously. I mean, I've not got a problem with that. But just let's not play as deep as we have, because we've got the makings of a good team to beat this mob. Yeah, and as I say, it'd be good to see him up against Big Lundstrom up against Bryn. Definitely.
What's your thoughts on that battle, Bridge?
I don't see any battle at all. I don't see Brown being able to do anything against Lundstrom. Lundstrom just going to sweep past him. I don't see Scotland pick up Brown getting any out of that game. I really don't. I'm not being funny. If we stick, some of our players are far too fast, far too quick in the ball, and too clever for him. He needs to play against someone like Alfie, so he can barge him in the back, or barge him up the Achilles. That's his level at the moment. He's not got the legs for anything else. In my opinion, he's not got the legs for anything else. And if he tries to come up against Lundstrom, he'll get a doing. That's what I would say. Get a doing.
Sorry, I should pick my words wisely there. When I said battle, I think Bridge was going to say Passchendaele. Sorry about that, Bridge.
I'm in.
Waterloo.
He missed that. He was doing his 11 plus. Right, where are we? Right, okay. We're talking about the Ryans, and obviously Ryan Jack's been out for 7 months. A fit Ryan Kent brings us something different. A ball carrier. We've not really got that with pace in my front three. Andy?
Yeah, I think, as I said before, I missed with Kent, but I've definitely missed him. He does run about that box. He tries to have a few shots as well. Can take players on. And he does a lot of tracking back, which, I was never looking at that. I was always looking at him losing the ball and not really watching what he was doing fully in the game. So, yeah, I think he's more important at the moment in getting Jack back. I think what you've got to do with Jack, I think you've got to, make sure that he's right to come on the field to play. But I wouldn't be starting him in any games anytime soon. I think he needs to have a little come off the bench, see whether he can stand up to the rigours of it. Make sure he's totally fit before you even think about that. But I'd like to think Kent's more or less round, or no, he's definitely going to come back after the international break. I'd like to see him back before that, actually, because we get important games before the international break. So, that would be something that we've been missing for the last 4 or 5 weeks, I would think. Yeah.
Aye, that ball carrier that Hadji, Roof and Morelos, they only like that, Alex.
No, they aren't, pal. They aren't. For me, Ryan Kent brings an ego to the team that sometimes the good teams carry. You know, you've always got that Ronaldo sort of person in the team, the guy that give me the ball and I'll do something different with it. That's what Ryan Kent brings to our team. He's looking for the ball all the time. He brings it. There's a wee nasty streak in Ryan Kent there as well, as we're seeing with Scott Brown. He's no fear to him. You know, he doesn't get intimidated with him at all. So I think he's got to bring that back to the team. I think he'll enjoy playing with Lundstrom. Lundstrom settled into the team now. But I've got to admit, though, Aribo and Hadji for me are starting to shine this year. So it can only be good for us going forward. I mean, the chances that they guys should be creating for Morelos and Roof to get in the end game. I mean, we're I don't know what our stats is compared to this time last year, Ox, but I think we must be a few goals shy of that. Because, as you touched on earlier on, we were more relentless last year in putting teams to bed, whether this year we just seem to get our noses in front and that'll do us, but we're no solid at the back this year, so we've been sucker punched a couple of times. But if you give that start, I think that'd be a good comparison. No,
I'll dig it out for you and we'll compare it, yeah? Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
The leagues are gone and how many goals. We had it on Thursday before last Wednesday before Thursday and Sunday's game. But we'll get it updated and we'll have a look at it. But the bottom line is we're not scoring enough goals, mate. You know, we're losing a bit better than last season, but we've got to remember how exceptional we were. But we're not scoring enough goals. That's where the problem is. JFK.
It'd be great to see Ryan Kent back again, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely wonderful. We are missing that up front. We've no got somebody that can run it. But more criticism of Ryan Kent. I feel that he should go more to the byline than he does. I feel he comes in too far at times. But we do need somebody that can run at other teams and get the ball across, because we're missing that end ball for somebody, and it's not happening because we just seem to be faffing about sometimes at the 18-yard box, and we keep saying we need shots battered in. Ryan Kent, I'm hoping he's only maybe 2 or 3 games away. Ryan Kent is only 2 or 3 games away, so I'd like to see him back before the end of the year, Ox. Yeah,
Ryan Kent and Ryan Jack.
Both of them, mate. But I think
Ryan Kent, obviously he's not back training yet. It was a hamstring, so he should be back in a couple of weeks. Everything goes to well. Ryan Jack's not any pre-season in, so he's going to go through a lot of stuff. Yeah,
but as I said, I'd like to see him back as well, but I don't think it will happen.
I've got a funny feeling the two of them could appear on the bench at the Brøndby away game. There you go.
Oh, aye, okay.
Because you're allowed 9.
So you're allowed 9 at that game's aye.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
I've nothing to back that up, Rich, man. I'm just talking at my backside, but I'm just that's my theory. I'm sticking to that. There you go, just to cheer up Andy Felix.
I'm always cheery. I just don't come across cheery, that's all.
Tell you what, if that's the case, you're up for an Oscar. You must be some actor.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't come across that cheery. I'm on the other side with a big cheesy grin, by the way, boys, and a glass of vodka.
Oh dear. You must be some actor. He's still off his seat. I love it, pal. Oh dear. Alex Kelly's still laughing.
I can't even believe it, seeing Andy with a smile on his face.
Well, it's certainly not there when I clock your tooth, and that's for sure.
Oh, dear.
Children. You're not on Facebook.
Sin bin for you.
Oh, dearie me.
Listen, I'll let you know if there's any insults to be handed out here. I do it all right.
Okay, right. I wanted to be on the best behaviour, but it's that so-and-so over there.
He brings the worst out in people, doesn't he?
He does, he certainly does. Everybody he comes across.
You're very misunderstood. You're one of the nice guys. It's that Alex Kelly's a bully.
You got it. You've got it. You're learning.
Yeah, I know. Right, okay. Right, I've got a wee question to ask you. I'm going to go to William first, right? We're talking about Ryan Kent, Hollander, and basically this team has been pretty much the same. We've only got 14, 15 players, maybe 16, and we keep them back to the well week in, week out. And is that the problem, William?
Well, I think it is. I mean, you look at Ryan Kent, he's our most expensive player. He's probably our quickest player, and he could be our most skillful player. And you could also argue Hollander is our best defender.
Mm-hmm.
So you could argue that's our two best players have been taken out of the team fairly long term. And Ryan Jack in the midfield, you know, he could possibly be our best midfielder if he was there 100% fit. So we've been fairly devastated with injuries, to say nothing of all the COVID stuff.
Fair comment.
To take your three best players away, you know.
Mm-hmm. Aye, fair comment. AK?
I agree with that. I agree with that. We definitely miss all three. That right-hand side of the pitch, it's not just Ryan Jack's presence and what he offers the team. He offers protection for Tavernier to go forward. Tavernier doesn't seem to be the same player without Ryan Jack in front of him. Hollander offers stability to Golson, so it makes him perform better. Plus, he protects Barisic that week better as well. And obviously, Ryan Kent brings his own qualities to the game, so I definitely will miss all three. But I don't know. I think he's maybe made a wee mistake there with letting Itten go out. I just think that Itten offered something different up front that we didn't have. Sakala's, for me, is a wee bit too similar to what we've already got. So he's obviously trying something different and giving Itten game time. But as you said earlier in the season, we might not see Itten back again.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I don't think he's setting the header on fire. He started okay. I think he's no prolific for that team, but only time will tell. He goes with our best wishes, the boy. GFK,
he doesn't seem to be getting game time.
Oh, I know, but what does that tell you?
Yeah, true.
You know.
Same with Billy Gilmore at Norwich, right?
Aye. JFK.
No that long ago we were all sitting here bumping our gums and saying that, I mean, we could put out two teams that would play well in the Premiership. Now we seem to be saying that because there's three players missing that we're struggling in some departments. I don't see that at all. I just think that we'll have got players there that can come in and take the place of ones who are missing, and we just need to go with the flow with that. I mean, I know we're missing Hollander, who definitely is our best central defender, and we have at times missed Ryan Kent and obviously Ryan Jack. But I mean, we're not as if we're punching above our weight. We're getting good performances, albeit in some games not for the 90 minutes. But no, I've not got any fear about going forward and having to play with the same 15, 16, 17 players that we've got. As I said, we were bumming about, we had two teams and we were all picked the teams. So there's a good 11 against that 11 and say that's good teams. So let's go with the flow and just keep going with it and see what comes out. No, we've got 5, we're not going to look too far for, we've got 5 league games, that I think we should be taking the 15 points before we start playing the puddle drinkers and that. So let's look forward to them and see what's thrown at us. But the first game's the next game, which is the biggest game, and it's against the Sheep. So let's concentrate on that.
We'll win that and see where it takes us. I get your point. I get Jimmy's point. We've got the personnel for two teams, but apart from young Patterson, Bassey's no Sean, the boy Simpson's no Sean, the midfield, all right, we've got Kamara and Davis now, Lundstrom, and obviously Aribo's been put in there up front. We're a bit short, if I'm being honest, Andy and Bridgman.
Yeah, totally agree with what you're saying there, right enough. I mean, the thing for me, right enough, well, what we've got to know is more or less the set, the set team that's going to be put out just at this current moment in time. So for me, as I said earlier on, my worry is that I would have thought they would have gelled a wee bit more and up the performances a wee bit more savvy in front of goal. Well, a lot more savvy in front of goals. You haven't. There was no way we ever had two teams, because if you look at certain players that we've mentioned, Hitton when he was there, Simpson, the guys, our management team can't be too confident, and especially when we've had the problems we've had just lately, and certain players are just not getting in the team. So that tells you possibly what the manager and the backroom staff are seeing in training, what they actually think. Not me personally, but what they're actually seeing, As I said to you before, I wouldn't like to get any praise off of Steven Gerrard, because when you get that, you don't see them for weeks, do you? No. So that would be a fair like, But I mean, no, I just like to see them. This team, right, even in like I said, they should be good enough or better, more savvy in what they are doing to put these teams away. Yeah, the Motherwell one and the Hearts one still stings there,
Yeah, and rightly so.
You shouldn't have done that,
When you lose the goals like that, you're always going to be disappointed. There were 2 games we should have won. Yeah?
Yeah, and that's 4 points in it, so you would be sitting 8 in front there. That makes it a hell of a lot more comfortable if you go forward and you start in a bit of form. Anyway, there's no point talking about that because it's cost the 4 points,
Might have got you in a good mood.
I'm always in a good mood. I'm not biting, by the way.
Make somebody a great wife.
Definitely.
Victor Meldrew Leeds.
No.
A medal struck for Mrs. Andy. She's had a lot to put up with.
Dearie me.
Shocker.
I'll tell you what, for a moody bugger, I laugh a lot. Put it that way.
You do.
True. Oh dear. Right, okay. What's your initial thoughts? We're going to deeper tomorrow night. But if I ever get Stevie out of that blooming pool, right? But what's your initial thoughts? It becomes a big game, and it always is. Aberdeen at home, it's a big game. AK then, William.
Well, I think we've been threatening to give somebody a doing this year,
right.
And I think it's going to be Wednesday. I'm going for a 5-0. Take that, Bruni.
Can you pick your words a bit wisely? Threatening to give somebody a doing. Bridgeman got excited there.
Andy got his boots on.
I think we'll give him a doing. I'm going for 4-0.
All right, okay.
Go on yourselves, you two. Go on yourselves.
William, what's your thoughts? Big game?
I think Scott Brown's absolutely done. He's been done for about 3 or 4 years, and they're going to get done on Wednesday. I'll say 3-0 to the Gers.
Oh, yes, I'm liking this.
So we'll get 3, 4 and 5. Wow.
3, 4 and 5. You might as well go for 6, Andy.
I'll go for 9. 3-1. 3-1.
Some of that vodka.
Don't you stop the guy here. Liverpool to win by 5 goals yesterday. Everybody laughed.
Wow. 9.
Right, in you come, Bridge.
Well, I'm going for a 1-0 because that's what we'll probably end it. And I think it's going to be a really, really, really tough game once again. I think every game we're going to play this season.
Listen, see when I say that we send the script to you, don't have to keep to the script every game.
No, I'm saying I think it's going to be a really tough game until such times as we get the game that you guys are dreaming about, which is we give some team a doing, and that might wake us up and bring us into the real world, and we start letting up and go and score goals. That's what might happen.
I've ordered 12 of the shoot ladders, Andy, by the way. 12 different years. Right, well, we've reached that time of the evening. JFK.
Yeah, it was nice to be back in again, guys. Nice to have a chat with you on. It was good banter, good fun. And my bags are packed and I'm on my way, Oxjail.
No
Stevie, just get your feet out of that hot water bottle. I'm coming down. And I've got the lagers here. We're ready to go. and it doesn't matter about the flag. I'll just be down there. But anyway,
you're welcome, mate. Rangers for everybody.
All kidding aside, it was good to be on tonight, guys, and good to speak with you on. And looking forward to the next time I'm on. So just all take care, and we love the Rangers, don't we?
Yeah. Over to you, Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say? Can I say a huge big thank you to yourself, Ox, there, and your obviously techie team. Wonderful show tonight. Thanks to Jimmy for partnering me on this. Just wonderful. I love listening to them. And we talk a lot of rubbish sometimes, but we do talk a lot of sense. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, we are very close to playing the Sheep at Ibrox. 2 sleeps I've got. 2 sleeps, and the moment's going to come. Every week, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers are going to need us, and Scott Brown's going to need a new bottom. That's for sure. Keep it going.
2 sleeps, I reckon about 3 naps. It's no answer, mate. Right, can I thank JFK, of course, Alex and Andy for coming in. Good laughing. Of William coming in, phoning us. It was great to hear from you again, William. Thanks for the call. Of course, thanks to Bridgeman and Fox and Old School Boy for doing the technicals and our new receptionist who was a star on the night. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. We'll be joined by Big Stevie. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Speak to you all tomorrow. Take it away, Foxy boy.
How many years ago, my boys, I left the Glasgow town. I followed the pull of the Yankee land and here I'm settled down. Although I'm east of Bridgeton Cross and my friends so near and dear, but I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing talk of California where the sun shines all the year. Singing Bama about your Broadway light so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean that's quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing Buck of California where the sun shines all the year. Singing Bama about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean that's quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing talk of California where the sun shines all the year. Singing Bama about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had